Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another Make a Code Monday. My name is Martin from the Innisfil Idea Lab and Library, and today I'm going to show you how to make a simple LED circuit that you can control using the inputs on your microbit. So if that sounds interesting to you, then let's get started. To build out this circuit, you're going to need one microbit, one LED, and two alligator clips. Before we build this circuit, let's just take a look at our LED. So you'll notice that there's two metal legs coming out the bottom. The anode, or positive leg, is slightly longer than the negative leg, which is called the cathode. We always want our power to connect to the positive leg and the negative leg to be wired to ground to complete the circuit. Now, attach one alligator clip to pin 0 on the microbit and the other alligator clip to the ground pin. Then attach the alligator clips to the LED so that pin 0 is connected to the positive end of the LED and the negative end is wired to the ground pin on the microbit. Now that we have our circuit assembled, we can control it with code. To start, head over to makecode.com and click on microbit. And then click New Project and give your project a name and click Create. So we're going to get rid of these starter blocks, because the way we're going to control this LED is we're going to turn it on and off with button presses. So when button A is pressed, we'll turn the LED on, and when button B is pressed, we'll turn the LED off. So to do this, go into the input drawer and grab this on button A press block. And remember, our LED is hooked up to the pin 0 on our microbit, and in order to send power to our circuit, we have to turn that pin on. So if you go into the advanced category and then click on the pins drawer, we're going to grab this digital write pin 0 to 0 block. And this block essentially just turns that pin on or off. And it has one of two values, 0 for off and 1 for on. So on our button A pressed, we want to turn that pin on to send electricity to our circuit. So in here, I'm going to change the value to 1. All right, and then to turn our circuit off, we're going to go back into the input drawer, grab another on A button press block, and then where it says A, I'm going to change it to B button, and then we just have to duplicate this code but turn the pin off. So go back into the pins drawer and grab the digital write pin 0 block, and in this case, we'll set it to 0 for off. So download this code now and flash it to your microbit, and let's test it out. And so with that code loaded on my microbit, if I hit the A button, it turns pin 0 on, which gives power to the LED, turning it on. And if we press the B button, it turns the power off, turning the LED off. So pretty simple stuff. So I know that's not a lot of code, but there are some ways you could jazz this up. Feel free to play around with some different inputs. Of course, in addition to the on button A and B pressed, there's also the option for button A and B if you press them at the same time. There is on shake, which will detect if your microbit is shaking, and so you can use that as an input. And if we click this drop down, we can see there's a whole bunch of other interesting inputs that we can play around with. The other thing you can do is create a flashing effect on your LED. So the way you would do that is when we press the button A, we turn the LED on, and then we can grab a pause block from the basic drawer and say pause for 500 milliseconds. And then I'll grab this block here and we'll turn it off. And then you can just repeat this. So I'll just duplicate this and this, and then maybe a couple more times. And so what we're doing here is we turn pin 0 to on, which turns the LED on. The program will pause for half a second, and then it will turn it off, pause for half a second, turn it on, and you could actually put this all in a forever loop if you wanted. And then when your code runs, it'll just constantly turn your LED on and off and make a flashing effect. So lots of different things that you can play around with. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope you learned something, and most importantly, I hope you have a great day. Thanks.